Alrighty, it looks like it's all set up. Coming up right now, we have Dungeons and Dragons Warriors of the Eternal Sun by Rujasu.
Hello, my name's Rujasu. I'm going to be running Warriors of the Eternal Sun any percent here. So, this category is kind of centered around soloing the entire game with the thief and exploiting the thief's hide ability. So it's glitched, so it's going to allow us to do a lot more damage. So at the very beginning of this run, you're going to see me just basically spamming the hide ability. There's going to be a weird sound effect. It might happen right away. It might take like a minute or two, but yeah, that's how this is going to go. So yeah, this is a like basic Dungeons and Dragons style RPG. So I'll explain it as we go. So I'm going to use the default party here. So ready to go in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. So I'm going to the thief, using the hide ability. Again, this is like pure RNG, so like it may take a minute. It actually did not take a minute. It went really fast, which is great, because that'll save us a little time. So yeah, we're in this castle. We're supposed to, explore, look for allies and stuff. What we're supposed to do is go north and, fight an enemy campsite. It's supposed to be like this introductory battle thing. We don't do introductory battles here because this is a speed run, so we're going to skip that whole thing, and we're going to head west over this bridge here, and we're going to go to an area that we're not really supposed to be in yet. So you'll see that I'm like walking kind of close to rivers and trees and stuff a lot. That's because I'm trying to avoid enemy encounters. So the overworld for this game, you can see there are some enemies spawned and I was able to just avoid them. For the overworld at least, this is like a turn-based RPG similar to like Ultima. So enemies just appear on the overworld and you can avoid them, but if you get too close to them, a turn-based battle happens, and naturally that takes forever. So part of the strategy for completing this run in under a half hour is to just avoid like every enemy encounter. We don't fight anything on the overworld. And then when we go into a dungeon, it goes first. We're not supposed to be in until near the end of the game, so I'm just going to safety save because we could die here. So like I said, I'm going to solo as the thief, so I'm just going to kill off the front 3 party members, and then I'm going to kind of do a dance here with this giant to make sure he doesn't hit me. You're going to attack him basically while he's sliding from tile to tile, and you never get hit. Same deal with this dragon, but we're not actually going to kill the dragon. We're just going to sneak by it. We're going to get this sword, this bow, and this treasure, and then we're going to sneak by it again. So we're just going to get out. Getting that treasure gets us a little experience, so we're level 3 now. And that was the whole reason I went in there, just to get weapons, get experience. 20 HP is a little light, but we should be fine. Okay, so I'm just heading north. There's another cave up here that we have to go in and, trigger a plot event sort of thing. There's sort of a boss battle here, but It's easy. Nothing bad can happen in here at all.
Well, if nothing bad can happen, can I read out something good that did happen?
Certainly.
All right. We have a $20 donation from Auntie that says, to reaching goals, to world records, and PB runs. Let's go.
Nice.
Also, can I mention really quick that the overworld perspective of this game is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It is like, it's like an isometric view, but inverted. It like destroys my brain.
Yeah, it's, you know, like, I played this game when I was a kid, so, like, you know, it was kind of like, you know, as a kid, it didn't really get to me, but yeah, it's a weird perspective. This game was kind of a one-off. I believe it was Westwood that made it, but like the team that made this game didn't make any other RPGs, and it has a lot of quirks. Some of those quirks are things like, you know, there are attributes like charisma and intelligence and wisdom that just don't do anything. And some of its quirks, like, you know, just things looking kind of peculiar, like, you know, like the perspective and stuff. And just like the fact that it's third-person overworld and then first-person dungeons. Like, it's like playing two completely different games.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, we're just backtracking right now to the castle because we have to go to the castle, pick up a key item, you know, talk to our like wise person, and you know, we're supposed to be like getting advice from him, but of course we mash through all the advice. But we pick up a key item, and then we're gonna take a shortcut right back to the cave we were just in, and that's kind of where the real run kind of starts, in my opinion, where like it starts to get a little more dangerous. And you know, since this is a marathon, I have some kind of safety strats to mitigate like the inconsistencies, but yeah. So this is like the Duke's throne room. We never talk to the Duke in this run because the Duke's not important. We talk to Marmillion. Marmillion gives us a vine. You have to be careful about these townspeople because they just, it's not like a press A to talk to them thing. It's if you walk near them, they talk to you, and you have to like kind of mash through it. So you just kind of have to mash the button when you're walking around town. But anyway, this is kind of just taking a shortcut right back to where we were. But we're going to be able to progress a little farther in this cave this time because we have, you know, a key item. So I'm just going to safety save out here because, like I said, this is where the run starts to get like a little bit more dangerous. So coming up first, we have this carrion crawler that I have to be careful with because it has a paralyze attack, and as you might know if you've played an RPG, paralyze attack is really bad when you only have one party member. Fortunately, Carrion Crawler didn't get us. These two Ataras aren't too big a deal because we kill them before they get a hit in. There's a bunch of troglodytes in here, and they're not too bad, but there's a lot of them, and like we only have 25 HP right now, so even if they just hit us for like 3 or 4 damage, that still like adds up. Because we will get healing a little bit later, but we don't have any right this minute, so we really just want to avoid damage as much as possible. So I'm just coming through here. This cave leads to the swamp. The swamp is the next area we're supposed to go. We're not going to go to the swamp because we don't actually need to. So here's the door to the swamp, and we're just going to like go touch the door, and it's going to give us a message, and we're going to pretend we went to the swamp but not actually go there, and we're just going to head back. So I'm spamming arrows here because if you spam arrows, enemies tend to like dodge out of the way of the arrows, and you can just use that to clear a path. Just spam arrows and they just like part like the Red Sea. It's kind of awesome when it works. So hopefully I don't get any more encounters here. There can be like a rat and a spider and frog and stuff. There's a toad, I guess. Sorry. Didn't mean to offend any toads out there. So, yeah, we're just heading out here. Haven't encountered any real major problems yet. So we're going to head east, and there's going to be a cave that'll take us to the Azcan jungle. Now that is the Azcan jungle, not Aztec. Definitely not the same thing. Definitely not going to be any like potentially culturally insensitive things going on here with, you know, depictions of certain races or anything. You know, nothing to worry about. But anyway, we're gonna head to this jungle, and I'm going to pick up a healing item in the cave that, like, for world record strats, we don't pick up that item, but, you know, I'm gonna pick it up because even though it takes, like, 45 seconds to pick up, it makes this run, like, 90% consistent instead of, like, 10% consistent, so it's actually really important if you're doing a marathon run, or if you're just like starting out with this game and you just want to be more consistent. This game, by the way, if you've ever just like wanted to run an RPG, but you were like, RPGs take too long, you know, this run is under 30 minutes. Like, if you want to have like a first RPG to run, this is a pretty good choice. I did that wrong, so I'm just gonna back out. So, like that. That's how I have to do it. You have to, like, get that movement exactly right to skip that statue there. So we're gonna go fight these beetles, and there are gonna be some trolls. Fortunately, those beetles can do some damage, which is annoying, but it's fine because we're going to get a healing item, and we're going to get that little bit of health back. So yeah, we picked up the Ring of Regeneration, which, really good healing item to have in a speed run because it's like passive healing. We don't have to stop in menu to heal. We just kind of gain HP as we're going. Those scorpions can mess you up, so can these saber-toothed tigers, but we can skip most of them just by kind of like manipulating them with our movement. So we're in the jungle now. And coming up is going to be the most difficult and challenging dungeon in the game, the Azcan Temple. It's challenging because it has a lot of secret doors, traps, and stuff, and it's just like easy to get lost in. So when I was learning this run, this was what I spent the most time on, just nailing down this temple. So hopefully it goes okay here. I'm going to save and load here because there was like a forced overworld encounter there. But if you see an overworld encounter and you just save and load, it loads, like you can save anywhere and it just loads everything except the encounter you were going to fight. So you can skip every encounter in the game just by doing that. It takes a little bit of time, but it's pretty cheesy. So, like I said, this is the temple. You can kind of see why this is difficult because you're just, like, walking through walls all the time, and I'm taking kind of unusual movements through rooms to avoid traps. We do walk over a few of the traps intentionally just because it saves time, but we can't walk over too many traps because, again, we only have 30 HP. We're down to 19 now. Like, we just want to be taking as little damage as possible here. So, these enemies here we can usually take out without getting hit. But, you know, it's kind of like the troglodytes. There's a lot of them. You know, one or two of them is gonna just get in a few points of damage, like there, like I took 2. And that just adds up. And then on the top floor, we're gonna probably end up taking a bunch of damage there. So, this Ring of Regeneration is already paying off big for us because we're at like 20 HP instead of like 12. When you're on PB pace and you're not getting that ring, like, this is the area where runs go to die. Like, you just run out of HP. Usually in this room, if not before. Because we're gonna walk into this room, and normally you would have to, like, go in here and clear out all these enemies and get 4 rings of fire resistance. We only have to get the 1 ring because we only have 1 person in our party, and that was really lucky. None of those, like, warriors on the sides of me hit me. Usually you get hit like 3 or 4 times, and I got hit 0 times, so that was just extremely lucky there. So I got a ring of fire resistance. That's actually a necessary item to complete this game. You need a ring of fire resistance, or you just don't beat the game. There's a dungeon coming up that you literally just can't enter the dungeon unless somebody in your party is equipped with the Ring of Fire Resistance. There's a spell of fire resistance that won't work. You need this ring. And you'll see when we get to that area why you need fire resistance. So anyway, I'm just kind of getting out of the temple here. It can be a little dicey on the way out, just because all these enemies respawn when you go from floor to floor. But with 20 HP, I'm pretty confident that we can get out and, you know, not have any issues there. And then we'll be, you know, doing a little bit more backtracking and kind of getting into the second half of this run. Alright. Yeah. So,
Now you do have some time to plug an incentive while you escape this dungeon while being completely unseeable.
Yeah, sure. Just, go ahead.
Alright, we have an incentive for Axe Battler, which is the dramatic reading of the intro and outro, and I believe that is currently at $30 out of 100. So please put your money towards that if you end up donating, and you can donate at the link in chat. It all goes to a fantastic cause. Lead is a great charity, so if you have, you know, a little bit of money to spare, please put it their way.
Yeah. So you see there, I triggered an overworld encounter, but since the thief is hidden, he can just kind of walk past overworld encounters, because, you know, they don't see him, so they don't attack him. That doesn't help as much in dungeons, but it does help for that. But yeah, you should really get your donations in for Axe Battler, and I highly recommend checking out that run. Yeah, just have to get past that. Those saber-tooths there can be scary. But yeah, definitely check out Axe Battler. It's a fun game. I liked it a lot growing up. So this, you know, we're just kind of backtracking through this cave. It can be a little dicey, like, you know, again, with those saber-tooths and scorpions, but it's a lot faster on the way back than on the way in. So again, we're kind of doing more backtracking. We're going to end up at that cave we were at in the beginning. You know, like I said, we're not supposed to be there until toward the end of the game. Well, we're toward the end of the game now. So we're just heading back there. So if you have time to plug anything else, go ahead. So I'm taking a little bit different route here, but it's just a little faster to go this way. Again, we're not getting many encounters because the enemies can't spawn on top of these trees and bushes and stuff here. So, like a lot of RPGs, you're safer in like the open grassy areas and it's more dangerous in the woods. In this game, it's kind of the opposite, where it's actually more dangerous in the wide open grassy areas because there's just more room on the screen for an enemy to spawn. So we're going to ignore the giant this time, and we're just going to take this path back here. And it's going to lead us to the next dungeon, and also the reason we needed Ring of Fire Resistance. Yeah, check out this place. You need fire resistance here for some reason.
I really cannot imagine why. I don't know, like, you know, when I was a kid, I would always play the floor as lava. It's really not a big deal.
Yeah, so, like, if you don't have fire resistance here, you just, like, passively take damage every couple of steps, which, again, you have 30 HP. Like, you cannot afford to take damage like that. So I'll just do a quick safety save here. This dungeon's not too bad, but there are enemies that can, like, one-shot you or give you poison and stuff like that. But the rest of the run should be, like, relatively safe here. So we're gonna fight a room full of scorpions here. Now, on the way in, this isn't gonna be too bad. We just kill these two, and we just go. And we kill some ghouls here. The ghouls have like a paralyze attack, but we can usually kill them before they do anything. So I have to move an item here. So this is like, this person has like the quest item we've been looking for. I'm not going to get into the story too much, but we needed that item, so we get to head back to the castle now. But this room of scorpions on the way out is really dicey because you know, they just have a chance to hit you, like, from the side. They can poison you, and it just takes forever. Like, there are, like, a couple of antidotes in the room that you can grab, but it just takes so much time, and it's annoying. And if you don't have, like, the Ring of Regen, and you're low on HP at that point, it can be a run killer. So I'm going to do another save and reload here, because this area is just, like, there's a lot of encounters here, because, you know, like I said, with, like, big open areas, enemies can spawn easily. Well, you know, here it's big open lava area, but it's still open. And your Ring of Fire Resistance does nothing against, like, a dragon breathing fire on you, so... So we're just going to head back to the castle now, and it's kind of like we have this item that, you know, is like the thing to complete the quest that we've had for the whole game. Like, you know, we're supposed to go out and find allies, and we got this medallion from an ally, and we're supposed to show it to the Duke and say, hey, we did the thing. So, you know, of course, this being an RPG, as soon as you think your quest is completed, that definitely means it's completed and there's not more stuff coming after. So there's definitely not going to be like any issues at the castle or anything when we get back here. Everything's going to be cool and fine. You may notice that there's been a little remodeling at the castle. You know, they had a really big party, and everybody's hungover now, and just that's why you don't see anybody. Nobody wants to like come out of their rooms because they just don't want to be out in the daylight right now. But everything's fine. We're gonna have a big party at the end. You know.
Oh, I know that feeling.
So we just go talk to Marmillion again. Marmillion gives us a scroll. The scroll gives us a very cool and powerful ability, which is to summon a dinosaur. So we're going to be taking advantage of that in just a couple of minutes here. So we're just gonna, you know, jump in this grave here like you do. I totally messed up that movement. But this is fine. You know, again, this is like, there's secret doors and, you know, just knowing this pathway, you just have to like memorize how to get where you're going and hope you don't take a wrong turn or something and get lost. This isn't as bad as the temple in that respect, though. I'm just gonna wait for this, see what the dragon's gonna do. We can skip these dragons, but you have to wait and see whether they're gonna move or not. So we're coming up on the final dungeon here. So 26 HP should be fine for the final dungeon. I will safety save just in case, but should be good here. So I have to make this movement like exactly right, or this is going to be annoying. If I do this path exactly, I did not do it exactly right. Okay, if you do it exactly right, then these elves here don't hit you at all, but I did it wrong, so, yeah, okay, that worked. This, again, I'm gonna just, like, spam a bunch of arrows and just walk through. These elves can be a pain, so I just spam arrows at them. It's a little safer, and it avoids, like, letting them do their attack animation. So we're coming up on the end here. These wizards can be dangerous if you get too close to them, but otherwise, not a big deal. So here's the last floor. A bunch of, like, really powerful enemies in here. I'm not sure if I got the movement there right, so I'm gonna go ahead and attack this chimera here. You can skip the chimera, but if like your movement's off or something, then you don't get the right pattern, and it can just kill you when you're trying to walk past it. So that vampire can be an issue, but shoot with arrows, it's usually fine. There's Medusa. Medusa's not an issue. This fire giant I don't want to get too close to. There's another giant here. It's not too bad. And then there's just a couple more enemies here, and we're going to be done. So this chimera is a little bit dangerous, but no problem. And then this is the last enemy we actually have to fight here, because final boss here, Time. So, remember I said we were going to summon a dinosaur? So, the dinosaur is just going to fight the final boss for us. And, yeah. So, hope everyone enjoyed this run. Just gonna roll through credits and stuff here. And yeah, like I said, you know, everything's fine at the castle. I don't know what you were worried about. Everybody's having a big party. All the allies we killed off are, you know, all back and good to go. So, yeah. Again, I'm Rujasu. You can find me on Twitch at Rujasu55. I'll give a quick shout out to the Warriors of the Eternal Sun community. Moderate Jog in chat is the world record holder for this category, and has just actually improved that world record yesterday, I believe. So, GG to Moderate Jog. He also has a cool tutorial video for this, so be sure to check out his stream and his YouTube for that. But yeah, this is a cool game. Again, like I said, if you want to speedrun an RPG, here you go. Like, you know, 25-30 minute run. It's not that hard to pick up. You know, it's challenging, but you can get into it fairly easily, and I really just enjoy it a lot. So be sure to check it out. Yeah, I think that's all. Thanks for having me. You know, be sure to check out the rest of the marathon. I'll be back in a little bit to host a few runs. Yeah, this is a great marathon, great cause. Happy I could be here.
Thanks so much for being here.